eating for reasons other than hunger. That's one of the downfalls of our society. It's why people are obese. Let's see here. The Wellful. Oh, just an extra thirsty on this. You can find this on the Swolenormous channel. The Wellful. Using food as a coping mechanism and eating for reasons other than hunger is 100% normal. Okay. And can even be healthy. Let's keep the shame and guilt away from eating, please, and thank you.
Everybody knows you never look full retard.
All right, so if you're just listening, this is a tweet from a page called The Wellful, using food as a coping mechanism. So number one, we all know that coping mechanisms fundamentally, the phrase coping mechanism is really usually not used positively. If it's a coping mechanism, you can have a good coping mechanism. You can meditate, go for a walk, take care of yourself. There are different ways to cope, but usually when we use coping mechanism, it's because you're not coping properly, right? This is something that you're resorting to deflect from the real issue at hand, or to try to satisfy another craving so you can essentially, have that instant dopamine release. You can get that kind of warm, fuzzy feeling and pretty much distract yourself from the actual issue. Putting a Band-Aid where, instead of actually not stabbing yourself with a knife anymore, that you won't need any more Band-Aids or gauze, right? So using food as a coping mechanism and eating for reasons other than hunger. Eating for reasons other than hunger. That's one of the downfalls of our society. It's why people are obese, because you're not possibly hungry. You're not hungry. You might have the wrong triggers. You might have the wrong signals because you're eating junk food. And let's talk about that.
Matt Damon.
Definitely a full-blown Matt Damon. Definitely a full-blown Matt Damon. You're not getting the right hunger cues because you're not eating real food. So you actually don't know. This is one of the things that a lot of you have probably recognized and learned from doing the elimination diet. So drop that in the comments down below if you have reset your hunger mechanism from doing an elimination diet. And that's usually what does happen when you actually unplug yourself from the matrix, no joke, and you start eating real foods that work for your body, where you're actually getting sufficient nutrient density. Okay, you're eating quality foods. You reset your hunger cues. When you're eating high fructose corn syrup, when you're eating all these grains and processed carb sources primarily, your hunger mechanisms are completely fucked. You feel hungry when you have, plus you're dehydrated. Most people are dehydrated. They're not getting proper water intake. They're also not getting enough sleep. So when you are fatigued, when your body is worn down, you are also getting different signals. You're also getting just incorrect signals. You're getting a different language. You're not interpreting it properly. Your initial reaction is, oh, I must feel hungry. Your body just doesn't know anything else to tell you. Your body needs more energy. So rather than say, hey, you're tired, you need some sleep, you might have 3 kids, 2 jobs. You might be stressed out at work, so you just don't have time to sleep right now. You can't just lay down, well, I guess I'll just take a nap then. So what else do? You reach for some more coffee. Okay. And coffee can be a negative if you're just using coffee just to stimulate yourself all the time. I mean, I like my coffee. I do. But at the same time, there could be downsides to it. If you're always just leaning on coffee, you feel exhausted, you're eating that afternoon sugar crash. You shouldn't have an afternoon crash. You're having an afternoon crash because you're exhausted. You're probably dehydrated. You're not getting enough nutrition. You're let's say you're tired, you're exhausted. So your body says, all right, get some food, because then you get that sugar release and then you get a little bit of a boost for a couple more hours. And then you crash again later. You go on this roller coaster, this insulin roller coaster of just sugar emptying into your bloodstream, and it's not good. You create this vicious cycle of just eating when you should be drinking, sleeping, and getting better nutrients. You just keep on filling up with these empty calories. You're getting energy, but you're not getting nutrition. And you always feel hungry because you're not getting enough nutrition. It's like your body trying to sift through a pile of garbage, trying to find some nutrients in there. Like, that's what you're dealing with. That's what you subject yourself to.
Good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagon. Big tax on my wagon.